Welcome back to the news at 10 from our studios in Lagos. The Air Task Force of Operation Lafayette Dole says its troops have stormed an Islamic State of West Africa province ISWAP terrorist hideout in Borno State, neutralizing some of its leaders and fighters at Megari on the fringes of Lake Chad. The spokesman of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, explains that the raid was carried out on April the 1st, 2019, following credible intelligence reports that some senior ISWAP leaders had arrived at the settlement on Friday, along with some of their fighters. According to him, 2 Nigerian Air Force Alpha Jet aircraft, supported by an ISR platform, were dispatched to attack the identified compounds within the settlement. The statement says bombs from the jets recorded direct hits on the target compounds, resulting in the destruction of several structures, as well as several of the terrorists being neutralized in the process. The University of Lagos Vice-Chancellor, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, has asked the 2018 graduating set of the institution to contribute their quota to the development of the nation. Professor Ogundipe, who was speaking at the university's 50th convocation ceremony, asked all 12,843 graduating students to emulate other illustrious ex-students of the institution in upholding its enviable reputation. Our correspondent, Victoria Idowu, reports.
Deans of faculties, Senate members, members of the alumni, council members in a procession to kickstart the 50th convocation ceremony of the University of Lagos 2018 graduating set.
I warmly welcome you all.
A total of 12,843 students successfully graduated in various courses have been awarded with first degree and postgraduate degrees. Today's ceremonies had 3,795 undergraduate students graduating with various classes of degrees. Amongst them is a 77-year-old retiree from the Faculty of Education. A total of 104 students finished in first-class honors, 4 from the Faculty of Arts, 12 from the Faculty of Education, 22 from the Faculty of Environmental Sciences, 48 from the Faculty of Science, 18 from the Faculty of Social Sciences. In his address, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, asked the graduating students to continue to uphold the good name of the university.
As you leave the university today, do remember it is your responsibility to propagate the good image of the university and contribute your quota to the continuing progress of the institution.
A word from the University Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Wale Babalake.
Do not be deterred. It is very, very lonely and empty at the top. It is only the bottom that is crowded. Avoid being at the bottom. And avoid listening to those who tell you that it's impossible. There is nothing that is impossible.
It's time for the fresh graduates to join the League of the University Alumni, and the president of the Alumni Association, Dr. John Momo, is on hand to welcome them.
Once upon a time, oil was the world's most valuable resource for the mainstay of many economies. But today, data is the new oil. The proverbial cheese keeps moving, and we must not only keep with the times, we must anticipate the future and prepare for it.
Now it's time for the pledge.
I, mention your first and last name, do solemnly pledge, as a proud alumnus of the University of Lagos, a foremost university, to conduct myself in a manner befitting my status,
Again, the university's pro-chancellor, Dr. Wale Babalaki, lent his voice to the development of education in Nigeria.
Academics must return to the academia. I believe strongly that the most important area in any nation's development is the quality of its education, because that is where the training happens and then the leaders are produced.
As over 12,000 students graduate from this institution today, 104 of them happen to have been first-class students. They have been encouraged to uphold the name of the school and also to become useful citizens of Nigeria. Victoria Ido, Channels Television News.
Grand Cereals Limited, an integrated foods company and subsidiary of Nigeria's oldest conglomerate, UAC, has commissioned its ultra-modern feed mill in Onitsha, the commercial city of Anambra State. The company's management says the facility will meet the needs of various farming markets. In addition to the feed mill, Grand Cereals Limited also produces edible oils, animal feeds, and other cereal products.
A 2,500 metric tons production capacity feed mill is being commissioned here at Atani Road, Onitsha, Anambra State, indicating a boost for Anambra State's microeconomy. Grand Cereals Limited says it is bridging the gap of about 2.1 million metric tons of fish supply in Nigeria by providing highly nutritional fish feeds to meet the needs of different segments of the farming market.
This, we believe, will bring the feed closer to the farmers in the southern market, improve availability all year round, and further improve quality.
In Grand Cereals, our watchword is collaboration and partnership with sectoral organizations, and our watchword is also quality.
A representative of the state government speaks on the economic potential of the project.
Now, the basic raw material for this is maize, and which presently come from the northern part of Nigeria. So there is additional opportunity for farmers in Anambra and around Anambra to do backward integration with Granfield by way of producing the maize, soya meal, and the rest of them.
The Vital Fish Feed brand is the foremost brand formulated to float and give farmers maximum yield. The Aquaculture Business Development Agency says the establishment of the feed mill in Anambra is an additional opportunity for farmers in the state. At a different venue, distributors, corporate partners, transporters, and some staff of Grand Cereals are rewarded with credit notes, plaques, and even gifts as a token of appreciation for their excellent support.
Time for the rest of today's business news, and here is Emana Amawe.
You First. First Bank.
Thank you, Ladi. Hello and welcome to Business News. The African Development Bank has raised concerns over the rising external debt profile of many countries on the continent in the past 6 years. At the launch of the Development Bank's 2019 Economic Outlook for Africa, insecurity, migration and unemployment were also listed as some of the factors impeding economic growth. However, focus on economic diversification, regional integration and infrastructure development were pinpointed as some of the factors that would improve Africa's economic outlook. The report commends Nigeria for growing out of a recession and the attainment of $43 billion in external reserves as at February 2019, as well as its foreign exchange policy. Now to some corporate news. Tier 1 lender Access Bank has dual-listed its 15 billion naira green bond program on the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange and the Nigerian Stock Exchange. During the listings, which aims to achieve price discovery and transparency, Access Bank explained that the objective is to fund green initiatives.
New logo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Access Bank's Green Bond is the first of its kind to be issued by an African corporate and has become a milestone in the development of the local green finance market. The instrument, which is a 5-year 15.5% fixed rate senior unsecured green bond, is due 2024. Following a successful listing on the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange, the Nigerian Stock Exchange is the next port of call for trading and price discovery.
For us, it's not just about being the first, even though it's important. It's for other Nigerian institutions to take a cue and do the same thing, because if all of us basically come out and issue green instruments, which we use to support responsible businesses, I think it will be lifting our country and it will be lifting our continent out of where it is right now today.
The lender also explains that its intent is to use the proceeds for the development of renewable energy systems.
Specifically, the green bond of this size or this tranche of it will focus on renewable energy and how we then begin to encourage people to use solar energy, use waste to gas, and conversations like that. So it's not a significant size, as I said, but I think for us, it changes the conversation.
The listing ceremony also coincides with the listing of 6.6 billion ordinary shares, resulting from a scheme of merger between Access Bank and Diamond Bank.
This is excitement, and excitement, some people embrace it with joy, others embrace it with fear as to what the future holds. It's an uncertain future, but I think we have to create that tomorrow, as we kept on saying leading up to this merger.
With these significant developments, Access Bank remains the toast of investors as its securities become one of the most sought after in both the domestic exchanges and the emerging and frontier markets.
Now to the domestic bourse. The Nigerian Stock Exchange sustained its bearish run for a second straight day as major counters suffered heavy losses at the end of trading. Edidion Wang has more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Now, the general index of the Nigerian stock market may hit yet another low of 29,000 if the steady daily decline continues at the current pace. On Tuesday, heavy losses in key sectors dragged the all-share index down by 1% to 30,226.77, and total market value was lower at 11.35 trillion naira. Now, volume of shares traded were significantly lower compared with Monday's session at 376.94 million shares, worth over 4 billion naira, exchanging 4,018 deals. Now, investor sentiments were negative mostly in the consumer goods, oil and gas and banking sectors, despite the recent slew of earnings releases. But insurance and industrial goods managed to soft land. Consumer goods was down by almost 4%, while oil and gas and banking shed 1.75% and 1.11% each. Shares of FCMB, Sterling Bank and UBA were the most actively traded for the day. And that's the stock market report for the day. I'm Edidion Iwang. Back to you, Emana.
And that's business news. Thank you for watching. I'm Emana Amawe. It's back to you, Ladi.